Hello, hello, hello. Feels like a long time since I've been talking to you, but we only missed a week. There's a really strong smell of guano in the barn. Just have to get a shovel and remove it because it's going to make me barf. So since I was last chatting, I'd been to Italy for my design trip. And it was brilliant. I mean, it was really, really good. And I was able to take you with me. I was able to video some stuff. I put some things on the Instagram, and then I've got some stuff to insert here. First of all, it was with Kate Smyth and her husband Adam, who are quite possibly the coolest couple I have ever met. They're just London cool. And it was in Turin, and it was kind of centered around their house that they have renovated. I think they said 1860 for the villa, I think. Beautiful house, huge, over 3 floors, and it's set in this little village outside of Turin. It's just gorgeous. And we stayed in Turin. We stayed in the old Fiat factory, and they still had the test track on the roof. It was stunning. Michelin graded restaurant up there as well, which we went to on the Friday night. Saturday was all day in Adam and Kate's house. We had a tour, and then we chatted about colours and picking your colours for your project. That was really interesting for me because I'm kind of thinking in rooms and then a bit here and a bit here. But when you went on that tour through that villa, every room was a different feel and a different vibe, but they all were connected. And I think one of the reasons for that is that Kate had 12 colours that she referred to and used in the schemes. So for instance, one of the pinks that came from the hydrangea that was under one of the windows. One of the colours came from the wisteria. One of the yellows came from doors that were already painted and had aged with patina, and that yellow came from there. And then everything that she would bring into the house, whether that's wallpaper, fabrics, or whatever, the colours that she needed to bring in, they connected to these 12. And these 12 worked, so whatever she brought in that connected to those 12 would work with each other. And I thought that was awesome because I have all of these separate schemes in my head that I want to kind of develop for the cottage. So that's my first thing that I'm going to do when I get a minute to sit down, is I'm going to order some samples. It's slightly different because I'm going to be relying so heavily on the lime wash paint for the walls with the Rose of Jericho company. But I think upstairs I can use traditional paint because that wood is MDF, and that's up in that space, and it's not lime wash. So I can use modern paints upstairs and on the modern wood, and then linseed paint on the downstairs wood that's around the stones. I've already got the yellow, which we can tie in from the windows, and then the front door colour and the back door colour, which we haven't announced yet. I've already got a set of curtains that I wanted to use in the cottage, so I'm going to use that as a starting point to pull out some colours. And that was one of the things we did on the Sunday, where we looked at how to take your colours, or how to take your scheme and then make it look like it has more depth. You ever look at these rooms in a magazine and you're just going, how have they made it look so money? Do you know what I mean? So it was the lovely Fiona did the colour workshop on Sunday, and her house is in the England Homes magazine in November. and it was great. I'm going to put up 2 pictures. There's one of the colour schemes where she just did a direct match, and you can see where the pink and the green and the blue matches with the fabric in the middle. And then what she did was she went to the shade colours of those, either warm or cool. And then you can see in the next picture how that scheme looked when you just swapped out those colours for the shadow versions or the shade versions. And it just looks richer, it looks deeper, it looks considered, it looks professional. Well, this is my opinion anyway. And so then we all got a chance to get a piece of fabric and to do this for ourselves. And I'm going to insert a picture of my scheme, which isn't really my colour vibes. When I got the central piece, I was like, oh, this isn't really me. But actually when I saw everything around it, I thought, that's really nice. That's quite autumnal. But orange isn't, well, at the minute, it's not a colour that we think is going to be on the original 12. So that was really useful. Came home. Oh, went to on the Sunday, went to the Grand Ballon market in Turin. It is huge. They have it every Sunday, but then once a month they have the second Sunday of the month they have a massive market. It is huge. It is worth going with an empty suitcase alone. I got the most beautiful Mattel painting, which is actually, I think, going to be the inspiration for my bedroom at home. The cottage isn't even getting it. It's plums and greens and pinks, and oh, it's so nice. It's a landscape. And then I got a hand embroidered tablecloth, and I got a vintage linen bedspread, and I got little copper pots for sugar and tea for the cottage, and little copper molds for the cottage, and I got a little brass bell for the cottage, and then I got 2 kimonos for the goat suite. And what else did I get? Maybe that was it. But I had to buy a new suitcase in order to get the painting home, because it was too wide for the one that I had bought to take all the stuff home. But it was the best trip. And I'm going to put the link in the description, because Kate has released the dates for next year. She only does 3 a year, and they're always in the autumn. And so I'll release that in case anybody was interested. But it was just brilliant. There was interior designers there. There were people who are working on projects, and there were just people who are really interested in design and they want to try something different in their own home, or they maybe see these houses in magazines and they go, oh, how do you get all those patterns to work, or how do you be brave with the colour? Or it was lovely. Pauline from Scotland, and she was like, I just can't see how stripes and florals work. On Sunday, her scheme was amazing. Stripes, patterns, florals, and it all worked. It was all stunning. So it's like a crash course that if you don't want to go and study interior design, but you want to be more confident in making your house look like it was designed by an interior designer, is well worth the money. And everybody was adorable. So friendly, because I didn't go with anybody. I knew a few from a trip before, but I mean, everybody was lovely, which is the really nice thing about it. So that's the update on that, and you can see, you'll have been able to see the pictures and the videos that I put in. So I was really happy that I was allowed to film and to take photos. They were very good. Can you see all their heads peeking out? Look, it's so cute. I actually have a new theory for what happened. Chick number 6. We think it's actually Rusty has maybe come over, get something to eat from their special chick crumb, and has just pecked it in the wrong place. David doesn't think a chill would have done it, but he does think just the wrong peck from Big Daddy there might have done the ticket. So I'm feeding them in 2 separate places now when they get their treats out here. We're doing an extension to the chicken coop because they're all trying to sleep in this one, and they can all get in, but gosh, it's a squash and a squeeze. So it's not ideal. And certainly as the chicks get bigger, it's not going to work. It's like those documentaries you see on TVD where the guy has multiple wives and they all live in different houses.
Lucky fella.
Lucky. That's why it's only men that do that. There's not very many communities where there's one wife and multiple husbands sitting in houses. Wonder why that is. My thoughts are one is enough for any sane woman. Oh my goodness. The place is a mess. That leaves this area clear again. Good.
I don't know. It'll be difficult to get in if they lay eggs in there. So.
They won't lay eggs in there. Huh? That's only for roosting, is it not? No?
I'd make a wee door, a wooden door.
What do you need? Is there enough in there? Do we need to put something else in, or is that thick enough for them to roost on? Is it wobbly or is it steady? They won't roost on something wobbly.
Probably steady there.
Is it? Is that enough in there then?
We'll see how it goes.
Went to the bother cutting these and then they never went inside. That makes me so mad. I hate half jobs and my life is a half job. I'm going to put it on Instagram to see if anybody there knows. But I remember finding this and I'd left a little collection of things that we found over there. And this is one of the things. I don't know if you can see. It's a tool of some description. I don't know if this is bent or if at one point that was straight up. But this moves. I think that was straight at a time. Is it like a leather punch? Anybody know? Please do pop it in the, do it like the Instagrammers. Anybody knows? Put it in the comments. I'm going to put it in my drawer.